Hi guys, it's Michelle, the Southern Shell, and I have some fun ones today. Sweet summertime keychains. Let's see what today is all about. It's the first of the month collaboration, and our hosts are Gwen with At Home with Gigi and Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY. Links to their channels along with the playlist is in my description box below, so don't forget to check them out and give them some love. What I have for you today is I have these charms that they actually spin. It's like a little crescent with a piece in the center. They do have little glass pieces you can put on top. So if you want to put an image under it, you can put the little glass piece on top to seal it. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to create a little keychain, and I am going to use some glitter and some resin. First thing I'm going to do is just clean this little charm out. I did clean a little dome there because I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not, but I ended up not using it because I used the UV resin and it worked out perfectly. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got my UV lamp there and my UV resin. I've got a little pair of tweezers and I've got a little scoop. And I'm going to bring out my red, white, and blue glitter. And I'm going to start with the white and the red. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in with that resin. And I'm going to put a nice little layer just along that metal piece inside that little pendant. So I went ahead and squeezed in just enough to cover that base. And I have a pokey tool here, my Cricut pokey tool, and it has a little bent end, so I'm not worried about using it with resin. And I'm using that to spread all around the base of this little pendant here. I'm going to come in with that little scoop that I have, and I'm going to pull in some glitter. I zoomed you in pretty good. I'm going to start by putting just some white across the top and across the bottom. I'll come back with some more. I'm going to lay a little bit of red in there, and I'm going to come in and do a little bit of red at the bottom and wipe and clean that stuff off. But I'm going to turn on my UV lamp and let that sit. I let that go through the 150-second process. And now I'm going to come back in over the top and just dome it up a little bit. Come back in with my little Cricut tool, spread that out to the edges, and then we are going to put it under that UV lamp again for another 150 seconds. I have an alcohol wipe there, and I'm just keeping my tools clean while I'm working on this. I am now pulling out the blue glitter, and we are going to start on the other side. I wanted to show you what that looked like first. So we're going to do the same thing on the back side of this, except I'm going to put a star in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a little wooden star, and I have my art glitter glue, and it dries very quick. So I'm not worried about this glue being wet. It's going to dry very quick. I'm going to come in with my little scoop. It's a clay tool that I'm using here. And I'm dusting over the white glitter over the top of that star and pushing it into that art glitter glue. It does not take much to cover the star. It's very small, and that's some tiny glitter. And now I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of some super glue. It's a B7000. It's very much like super glue. Use my tweezers, place my star right in the center of my little brooch there. Now, this is sped up quite a bit, so that did have time to sit. I came in with that UV resin, and I'm using my little tool to spread it all over. And I'm going to wipe off my tip with that alcohol swab there. And I'm going to come in with now my blue glitter. And it wasn't open, but that's okay. This is a UV resin. And so I just used the knife and just opened up that little bit of that blue glitter there, and I'm going to scoop that and place it all around the outside of my star. Now I'm doing this very slowly. You are sped up here because it did take me some time. I didn't want to get it all over the place, so I was very careful here. Once we did that, I went ahead and put that UV over that again to help cure that UV resin underneath that glitter. And then I put another coat on top and let that fully cure under that light. And I think it turned out beautiful. Now here I'm just like lacing it with a piece of jute to kind of show you can use it as a necklace, but that's not what we're going to do with it. Here I have some keychains that I have left over when I did a project for our ladies for our women's tea for Mother's Day. And we are going to use this keychain on this charm. Let's jump right on into project number 2. Hey y'all, it's Michelle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and if you can, hype. It really does help my channel. This one I have some glycerin, and this is I got at Walmart and pharmacy. I have some water. I have a little bottle from Dollar Tree. Had that in my stash for a while. I have a little eyedropper. I went ahead and took several of these tiny little eye screws, and I went ahead and attached it to my keychain at the bottom down there. And what I'm going to do is I actually have glycerin in this little bottle, so I don't have to try to pour that in there. You can see that that's I mean, it probably would work, but I'm not a good aim anymore. So I thought it was easier to put it in these little precision bottles. And so I'm just going to squeeze in and just let that glycerin just kind of, yeah, this did take a little while to use that. So let's see if I can go ahead and maybe this will be easier. This one here is such a fine tip, it would take me a long time. So maybe I can use the eyedropper. And, oh yeah, that's much faster even than pouring it. Okay, so I'm going to fill this about halfway with glycerin. And then I'm going to come in with the water. Before I fill the water, though, I'm going to put some in a lid here because I'm going to use that eyedropper to get the water in there. What I'm going to do here is I have some tiny beads, little tiny seed beads, and I'm going to put some in my little jar here, and we're going to do some here in the blue. All right, see, I told you I'm not a good aim. And let me go ahead and get these other ones picked up and into my bottle. Push those down in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some white in there. Let's see if I can just... We're going to make a little red, white, and blue shaker keychain. Keychain. Maybe. If I can get by without dropping too many of these beads. Oh, that worked so much easier. Look at that. Just pop it on in there. All right. And I'm going to come in with some rust because you know me and my Americana look. I didn't have any blue that kind of went along with that. But I do have this little bit of rust color here. And we're just going to add those in there. Alrighty. And now I'm going to come in with some of the water. And we're just going to drop that in until it's nice and full. There we have it. Alrighty. I'm going to take another. I'm going to close these up before I spill them like I did my blue glitter. Guys, when I was putting the blue glitter away, I dropped it and I spilled it all down the front of me. And I was on the phone with my husband and I told him I was going to be his Sparkle Beach Barbie when he got home. So, alcohol swab. This is going to be very important because the glycerin is very slick. You're going to need to clean your bottle where that cork is going to go as well. And so I'm just right along the inside of that rim, doing my best to get it all around there. And now that will dry really pretty fast because it is alcohol. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I've got my B7000. This is like, this is an all-purpose, it's very similar to super glue. And this is going to go all around my cork right here because I want this to be sealed in. I want the cork to be able to absorb the glue and the glue to be able to grab on to my bottle so that the glycerin and the water will not come out. We're going to pop that in there, push it down. Always clean your tip. Cover it back up. So now I've got that pushed on in there. I'm going to take my little eye screw here and I'm going to take a little, this is a bead reamer, and I am just going to put it in the top of my cork. Now I'm going to take the glue onto my screw, onto the top of my cork, and we are going to screw that into that hole that we just created. There we have it. Got to screw it the right direction. Now the easiest way to do these is go ahead and stick that through there, and now you can just twist that. And you will have a nice tight screw into the top of your cork, like so. Let's clean that again, put my lid back on it, and now you have a USA. Get that glycerin shook up in there with that water. There you go. And look at that. Now you can write on here, put transfers on here. I'm going to clean it with another alcohol wipe. I have these left over from when I did the women's church ladies tea craft. There we go. And there's that keychain. So if you like what you're seeing, think about following me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. You can check out these QR codes here. If you'd like to support my channel, you can join my YouTube, or you can subscribe for free. You can also buy me a coffee, which helps support my channel as well. And our third and final project, let's go ahead and jump right on in. So for the last one here, I'm going to show you, this one is a 1950s bottle cap keychain, and I have just an old radio in there, picture of a radio. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my, this is a, I think this is a 1-inch. And I'm just going to find a nice little area like that. Get that on out of there. It usually slides out. Look at that. All right, we'll just slide it and pull it out that way. And then what you want to do is I'm just going to take, I have a tool here, and you can come in and you can punch a hole. You can change, where you want it to go, but that's what I did here at the top. I punched a hole and added a jump ring there. Now I can come in with my glue. I want to make sure this is right side up. I pulled the one that I had in there out. It was an adorable 1950s stand mixer, but I put it in upside down, so I had to pull it out. That's what you see, all the little excess in there. And so I'm just going to add a little bit more of this glue on here. And I'm going to sit that paper right down on into that glue, having it upright the way I want. And that 1-inch punch is perfect to go right on in there. And it is the scalloped edge punch. I just like that better inside these bottle caps because of the dimension on the outside edge. Now, all I have to do is, I'm going to go ahead and get the UV resin. We are going to put a couple layers of UV resin on here. So I'm going to just start around the edge like so. Come back in with my little tool. Make sure it's all out to the edges. Now this one will be permanent because I'm using the UV resin. The other ones, these are actually little clear stickers to go on top. And those work great. But I'm just going to use my UV resin so that this will be a permanent bond. These you can easily come in and lift, and I'm not going to show you that because that'll pull that right on off. But we're going to get this cured, and we'll do another coat on top of that to make it domed, and we'll be back. We're going to come right back in, and we're going to add another layer. All right, clean my cap. And UV light, 150 seconds, and we will be back. Okay, it's been 2.5 minutes, and here we have, and that is warm because of the resin when it cures. Now, if I want to do a dome, more of a dome, I would do it again, but I think I like it as is. And I'm going to come in now with the one jump ring. We are going to just attach that and then hook on the keychain, and we're going to come in and close that up just like so. And now we have 4 keychains, great for gifts this holiday. Look at this one. I love how that one turned out with the little spinny. I might do one maybe a little differently. Instead of the glitter, I might make a paste instead of just laying the glitter in loose, because it does have a tendency to go its own way, which is fine. I think it turned out beautifully. And the shaker one, like I said, once this is totally dry, I will come in with some more resin around the cork and the glass top. But this has to set for a few days before I can do that, because the cork is wet, and water and resin don't mix. So, guys, which one is your favorite? I love the way these turned out. I like the shaker one. I've done these without the glycerin, but put like the little dandelion seeds and made Make-A-Wish ones. Wish, I just put a wish charm on there. But I love the way these turned out. Let me know what you think. Which one is your favorite? Would you do something different? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hype. As always, stay safe. God bless. Bye for now.